Hello and welcome to the Final 10. My name is Sam Davis.
I'm Mr. Tiggs.
And I'm Tom Jordan.
How are we, gents? Are we doing all okay this Tuesday evening?
A lot better. We're a lot better after the weekend, aren't we? So, yeah, looking forward to this Final 10 now. A bit more confidence, mate. A bit more confidence.
And we're doing this Final 10 series like we did last time, because last time round, it felt like the season was building to some kind of crescendo, and it kind of did until we had a man sent off and then Brentford beat us and got through to the playoff final. But this season feels a little bit different, doesn't it, Tiggs?
Yeah, it does. I definitely feel very optimistic. I mean, we're in a very strong position, whereas I think last time it felt like we were fighting to do something. This time it feels like we just need to keep hold of it, don't we? We just need to keep hold of it.
Yeah, I think last season there was a few teams that felt really good. You know, Brentford were obviously one of them, and Norwich and Watford. And this season it feels like, they're helping us as well. We've got it. We've got it in our grasp. We just need to keep hold of it.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If we do go up, maybe officially we can be called a yo-yo club, because there are people who are even saying that now.
And we've never done it once.
We've only ever gone down. Look,
pretty rubbish yo-yo, if you ask me.
Thank you very much for tuning in to our show today. If you've seen the tweet that promotes this show, why not give it a retweet? Or if you're watching on Facebook, share it with your friends. And also you can give this video a like as well. Plus there's a certain button that they can press, Tom, right?
Big fat red one it is. It says subscribe on it. Click that. And that'll be doing a massive favour to all of us. So appreciate that. Give it a like, give it a retweet on Twitter, and hit the subscribe button.
Hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. We had some technical difficulties last minute, which meant a change of studio, but we can't wait. We're going to be with you over the next 90 minutes. Here is what's coming up. So we're speaking to Simon Cable and John Willow as we talk about the Cherries Aid for Ukraine.
After that, we'll be looking at a review of the Huddersfield game. Fantastic 3-0 win.
And then we'll be going into the final 10 of the season. 10 games to go. Predictions. We'll need you on chat to help us out with that one, I think.
And after that comes the league table reveal. Will we go up? Will it be playoffs? We will certainly find out.
Any questions that you might have in the live chat will be our time then to answer them for you.
And then any other little business that we decide to chat about as it comes up throughout the show, we'll dive into that at the end.
So yeah, it's the final 10 as we go through AFC Bournemouth's championship run-in. Remember to get involved on chat. We are completely live. It feels like a long time since we have done one of these streams, but yeah, do get involved. We cannot wait to hear from you. So obviously what's going on in the world is not great at the moment with regards to Ukraine. And earlier on today, we spoke to some people connected with AFC Bournemouth, one of which you certainly will know, talking, well, about what they're doing to help the people of Ukraine. So I'm pleased to say we've got John Williams, Willow here with us, as well as Simon Cable. How are you, gents? You okay?
Really good, thanks, Sam.
Yeah, very good.
Willow,
especially after Saturday.
I was about to say, nice to catch up with you in a very unique way at the weekend, filming in the Radio Solent car on your way back, and I'm sure we'll touch on the football. But look, tomorrow, Willow, huge day. What's going on?
Well, it's all down to Simon, this, and some friends of his, of course. We're going over to the Ukraine border to drop supplies off, 7 ton of it, Simon tells me. I don't know how we're going to fit all that in the vans, but it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it, I have to say. I've been saying to Viv right from the start, what can we do? And we've done all the usual things that people do in terms of, the shops that have been set up in New Milton, giving aid so they can get it back to the people in Ukraine. And we're going down with medical supplies. I think there's all sorts of things. Simon could enlighten you a bit more on that. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting trip. I'm just thinking, I'm not very good on boats, so I'm not looking forward too much to the sailing part. But I'm sure we'll get through it.
Brilliant. So Simon, it's not just you and Willow who are going, is it?
No, our friends Dave Joyner and Gary Francis are joining in a second van, or we're going to change up the drivers and passengers because we're all really good friends. But 4 days sat 2 foot away from anyone, sleeping in the van and being with them all day, driving all that way. I think we'll test any friendship. So we're going to try and change it up and swap the drivers and passengers around, so we all get a chance to have a chat and a laugh. I don't
get you, do I?
Only at the end.
Oh no!
You can get me home.
Yeah.
But we might come back via the channel. So no boats on the way home, hopefully for you, John. But yeah, it's 7 ton between 2 vans. So we've got 2 3.5 ton vans going. There'll be food, medical supplies, clothing, blankets and things like that. We don't know exactly the makeup of it because it will depend what each aid station is short of. Okay. And that also counts that we don't know exactly where we're going yet because a refugee route might be blocked off, another one reopening or opening, one aid station full, one empty, and they'll divert us pretty much en route to where our destination is. And that, I'll have a lot to do with what we carry as well, depending on the needs of the actual time.
So how long is it going to take, Simon?
So we're doing it over 4 days. We're going through the night to tomorrow night on the overnight ferry. So we'll land in Holland at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we drive through Holland, through Germany to rest up the night before, because obviously we'll get there about 8 o'clock at night on the Thursday. We'll need to get to the aid station, obviously, first thing in the morning to when they're open to unload. Don't know the situation, what it's going to be like when we get there. So we're going to try and hang back 100 miles away from the border. Just, there's maybe some desperate people there that are desperate in need of aid. And we've got 2 vans full. If we're sleeping in the van overnight, it could be interesting. So we're trying to keep away until the morning. And when there's organisation in place around that we can go and unload and it be distributed properly. So
Willow, what gave you the inspiration to do this?
I like that. I'm one of them. My mum and dad went through a World War II, and I can always remember them saying to me when people, I used to ask them what it was like during the war, but Dad wouldn't give much away. And a mum who worked in a bomb factory locally, she was a bit more open. I've got aunties and uncles who lived in the next street in Liverpool. Amazing, really. Like 3 of Dad's brothers lived in the next street, and 2 of Mum's sisters. So they always said, "Look, if people are in trouble, you've got to help," and they did in that sort of situation. And as soon as this thing went wrong, I was saying to Viv, "What we've got to do something. We've got to do this. We must do something to help." And we've done all the usual things, like I say, that most people do with going down to the shops and giving them various things, shampoos and things, and that I'd picked up from the hotels that had been in our wardrobe for a while. So that was something. But there was also those clothes as well and things like that. And then all of a sudden, Simon came on the firm and said, "Look, we're doing this. Do you fancy it?" And I went, "Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem."
In fact, John phoned me as soon as he saw that what I was doing and said, "I'm coming. There's no way you're stopping me." I just knew I couldn't talk him out of it. So he insisted, and he's coming.
It was just one of them things that all falls into place, and I'm just glad I can be of help.
Yeah, the international break obviously helps for John. If the team can go, so it all just clicked. And obviously seeing the news with people coming over the border, without coats on, it's -7, and holding babies, and you can see their arms are so tired, they've been carrying them for 2 days. The baby's almost slipping out their hand, and they're having to re-grab to make sure they don't drop the baby. That must be awful. And hearing stories of a mother and a baby going to an aid station, they gave them 2 nappies and 1 tin of food and said, "You can't come back for 2 days." That's just heartbreaking. And we said, we got to do something, and if we can help and make sure that our little bit gets to the front, that's brilliant. But it isn't just about what we can do. We can only drive 2 vans. We can only get 7 ton there. If we can inspire 10 people to do the same and take that's 70 tons getting to the right people. And so it's the legacy we're looking to put in place. If we can do it, we've got 4 Bournemouth fans in our 50s and 60s going 2,500 miles over 4 days and 16 hours of ferry crossings or whatever it may be. If we can do it in minus conditions, hopefully we can inspire other people too.
And that's not cheap, is it? Because you've got the tolls, you've got insurance, you've got all sorts of costs, and that's where hopefully some of our viewers can come in and help. Yeah,
absolutely. It's thousands of pounds we're talking to get it over there, but they can't buy the aid over there, so it's not like we can ship them the money. So we've got to get the aid there. We've been unbelievable. People have been so generous, and it's heartwarming. It's made me weep a couple of times that what people are doing. They're the heroes. We're just the blood instruments that are driving it there. We're just knocking on the door, but people are empowering us by doing this. We've got enough certainly for this run, and some towards the second go, if we can, or to sponsor another team to go. But the more we can get, the more we can help. And to say, if we can inspire others to go and fund others to go, if we're not available, or if we're all taking holiday time off work and driving through weekends and stuff, it's not going to be possible to sustain that ongoing. But if we can put something in place where, look, here's a guide to how you do it. We've done it. If we can do it, other people can. So that's what we want to get out of it. But so if anyone can add any donations, they will be going straight to aid, straight to the front line. And we've got an event page set up called Cherries Aid for Ukraine on Facebook, and we'll be updating that with videos and photos. But also it's got all the information of our trip. We'll be hopefully doing interviews with each other and other people we find along the way. We're not professional like you, Sam, so it won't be very good quality, but we'll do it. But there's a Just Giving page there as well, and people if they join the event, they can follow us, and any updates we've got, we'll get on there at some point.
Sorry, I just while you're saying about donations, I have to say, well, Viv spoke to Harry and Eddie, and they're going to support us. So well done them too.
Brilliant. Oh, and talking of Viv, without Viv and Gail in the background, Dave's wife and John's wife, none of this could happen. They've been unbelievable. It really is. Full credit to them.
What I'll do is I'll pop the link in the description below, so check out that, and you can go straight to the GoFundMe and donate there. And Willow, I'm sure there's some other people that you want to thank as well. I mean, where's the actual stuff come from? Like, where's the goods come from?
Well, I think Simon's about the one to answer that.
There's been donation points across many shops, and there's all been sort of collated into various depots. I can't say too much as the guys want me to keep it private for the minute. But yeah, I'm sure when we get there, we can announce more of what it was, because obviously we want people to follow in our footsteps. But they have just phoned me and said, please don't mention us or our names at this moment. They don't want the fanfare and the press hunting round. I think they've got enough going on with them where they are. Because they're absolutely swamped, and they've got warehouses full of donations, and they just can't get it out there as quickly as they want to. So that's where people like us can come in. So
sleeping in vans, Simon, are you prepared to be kipping next to Willow?
We've shared a few hotel rooms before, but sleeping in a van in -7 on a freezing cold, Polish night might be an interesting one. I'll take 2 hot water bottles so it doesn't fancy a cuddle up.
No, that definitely not. I'm taking a hammock.
Absolutely love it. Honestly, it's not going to be easy, and what an admirable thing you're doing. I think it's absolutely superb.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm expecting it to be quite humbling when we get there. But on the meantime, the adventure we're going to have will be memories for life. Hopefully we can make a difference, but enjoy it while we're going. But I'm expecting there'll be some shocking moments as well as ones of great joy. So
Viv went on Twitter and just to help publicise things and get people knowing what's going on, and we got this young lady,
Megan.
Megan, who we spoke to this morning. I don't know, she sounds maybe 19, 20. And she's down in working for the Bournemouth Echo in some sort of learning role. And she said, do you have a story for me? And we went, are you joking? Do we have a story for you? Yes, we do. And of course, we told her the whole tale. She's phoning back this afternoon for some more information. But the fact is, I don't think she realises how this is all panning out. You know, we're all fans of the club, and you know, in various ways. And she's down here on a apprenticeship or something like that. And she said, "Do you have a story I could?" And I said, "Yeah, we do."
That's
so
superb.
she's going to get a good start to her career.
Oh, that's absolutely superb. I loved hearing you on BBC Radio Solent with Steve Harris this morning, Willow. I mean, #tag isn't a word, but I reckon it should be now. Superb.
Well, you know, Sam, you know, I mean, Viv's laughing her head off. I am hopeless. I phone and text, and that's about me. I know how to get on the BBC site, but apart from that, I'm not the cleverest.
Well, we can't not talk about the football quickly, Willow. And I spoke to my colleague, Jeff Hayward, who's on this podcast with me. And he said to me at the weekend, he said, you know, Sam, that was a moving interview you did with Willow. And I said, well, yeah, he was probably a bit emotional, 3-0 win, best performance in age. He said, no, he was in a car. You were moving. And I was there, stood next to you as you drove off. And you know, you were feeling the same as many Cherries fans in that the performance was one of the best we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you go with every player. I mean, Dominic obviously stands out, but strikers always do. But everybody, it was just one of them days when everything goes your way. The goals came at the right time. I mean, there was people after 10 minutes of the second half, and Huddersfield, they're passionate lot up there. They really get behind their side. They went home. They knew they were done. And, you know, we kept going right to the end, still trying to get 4 or maybe 5 if it could have happened. But the lads were absolutely magnificent. If we can stay on that sort of theme for the rest of the season, we're going to walk it. I've already said that. I looked at the way the points have gone over the past 10 years or so. I think we need 82 or 84, depending how it all pans out. We've got to play Fulham as well, remember?
Yeah, of course.
So it's puts us in a situation where we all feel an awful lot better, an awful lot more optimistic after the previous 3 games, because that was disappointing. But Scott's got them together. The boys pulled it off. And we're looking forward already to the next game. A bit of a break, of course, because of the international, but happy days ahead, let's hope.
Yeah, Simon, I was looking at those fixtures in April, and they're certainly not the best, but that certainly makes me feel less pessimistic with a performance like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes we play better against the better teams, you know, and they'll come at us, and our away form holds up there, you know, and I think Luton got 8 games left. If they slip up in a couple, we suddenly need like 12 points, and I think that's very doable. You know, I can't see them winning every game to the rest of the season, and we might accidentally just stumble over the line. But if we can play like that, we're going to storm it. So that was really, really impressive. And Jefferson Erman being back, of course, my Jeff is a huge difference.
Absolutely love the guy. All right, Willow, just one more question. Just assuming that Bournemouth are going to get autos, who would you like to come up from the playoffs?
Oh, that's who would I like to come up through the playoffs?
Yeah.
Well, Luton, to be honest, is my favourite because Nathan Jones, the manager, used to be my boot boy at Cardiff.
Oh wow!
So I've known Nathan for a long time. So I hope really Luton, and I think they may do, because you look at the 2 boys they've got up front, their 2 strikers, they're a right handful. They messed us around, you know, and it was Cahill and Kelly, and you don't see that happen very often with them 2. So they're quite strong in that department, and of course for Nathan, I hope they go straight through.
Brilliant. Well, Simon, Willow, thanks so much for coming on, and best wishes for your mammoth trip ahead. All of the AFC Bournemouth community is behind you, and we'll get donating, I'm absolutely certain. Thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers, Sam.
Well, I'll keep you updated. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
What a great job they're doing, lads. Absolutely superb, isn't it? 4 days in a van, going over to the border of Ukraine, and 7 tons of humanitarian stuff as well. Great to see, isn't it?
Really, really incredible. And really heartwarming as well to see so many of you already making donations to help out. I think we passed the 3,000 mark as we were on air then. So that is incredible. So thank you so much.
Yeah, keep doing it if you can, because it's a great cause, obviously. And yeah, brilliant to see Willow and Simon doing that.
Yeah, superb. And look, the GoFundMe URLs that are created, the web addresses are notoriously complicated. So we created afcbpodcast.com/Ukraine, which just forwards straight to that GoFundMe address. And yeah, it'd be amazing to see that surpassed even further over the next 24 hours as they make their journey. And here on Back of the Net, we'll try to keep you updated with what's going on as well, with some regular chats with the guys. Tom, one of the questions I want to put to you is one of the same ones I put to Willow at the end.
Right.
Just assuming that we get promoted in the automatic spots, which is the other team that you would like to see going up via the playoffs?
I think for me, it's got to be Luton. I think there's something about Luton. I think you can go back to when we had our -17 and they were on -30 that season. So there's a little bit of a kind of bromance there, isn't there, with them? And the stadium's class. And I think it would weirdly take a bit of pressure off us in the sense that, you know what I mean, little old Bournemouth up there with their rubbish stadium. You know, with being up there with Luton as well, I feel like there'd be 2 of us going at it, whereas Fulham are, you know, a lot more, you know, well looked at as a bigger club. So yeah, I think it would be great to get. And I think they got one of the smallest budgets in the division. Yeah. So I think it would be a great story, and I think they would have earned it. And I think Nathan Jones done a really good job there. So yeah, I would go with Luton. Not that I'm overly fussed who else comes up as long as we do, mate.
They're going great guns at the moment. And look, there's the league table at the moment. They're third, and there's been all those memes and tweets going around saying, look, this could be a Premier League stadium with the outside of the Oak Road stand and the paths through the back gardens into the back of the stand. Maybe they won't be wanting to publicise the free beer, but alas, it worked for Tom, certainly. Right, so there you go. That is the league table there. And look, we need to talk about Huddersfield. So to help us do that, we've got someone who was there in the stadium, Mr. Neil Dawson. Neil, how are you?
I'm very good. Are you all connected by that wire? That's what I'm wondering. Is it like a drip?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going through it? How you doing, Neil? You all right?
Yeah, very good. Really good.
Very good. And look, nice to see a performance over the weekend. I mean, it was a bonus in many ways to get 3 points, because there were a few games where we skanked wins, where the performance wasn't particularly great. Then we lost a couple. Derby was all right, but then this is probably one of the best performances this season, would you say?
Yeah, alongside the Bristol City away, it was a very similar sort of game, I thought. One of the very few games we've had this year where I've not been in the slightest bit worried about the result. I wasn't nervous when Huddersfield attacked, and I thought we were always going to score when we attacked. There's not a lot of games you can say that about this year. Bristol City was certainly one of them, but no, it was great that we just. Parker said it after the game. We've learnt the lesson, I think, or hopefully we have. And 1-0 isn't enough. Keep going. If do that for the rest of the season, we'll be in a much happier place.
Absolutely. And Tom, from your perspective, I mean, we've always talked about that Bristol City performance, one where we scored a couple of goals, should have scored a hell of a lot more, but this was a scoreline that did not flatter us at all, did it?
No, like Neil said, it was comfortable throughout. I never really feared that they'd get back into the game. I always felt like we had more goals in us. And yeah, and I think it stands in good stead going to the remaining games, because a lot of people are talking, you know, outside of Bournemouth about we've got a really tough run on fixtures. But, you know, you've only got to look at the last few games and see that we've struggled against teams at the bottom. And then when we've played a promotion rival, so to speak, we've absolutely demolished them. So, yeah, that stands in good stead, and that'll give confidence to players. But yeah, I just thought it was really comfortable. And I haven't, as Neil said, I just haven't felt like that for a long time. Just so comfortable and could just enjoy the day. And yeah, that was really nice, and credit to Scott and the players for that performance, because it was needed, wasn't it?
It was needed, and it was just to return to that sort of attacking flair of football, wasn't it? Because there have been times where we're almost scared to do things. We're playing very safe, Neil, but this time you were seeing players marauding forward. You're seeing the overlaps. You're seeing players trying to shoot from everywhere. It's what we want to see as Bournemouth fans. We don't care if there are passes that don't particularly work or little interplays that aren't working, as long as they're trying things. But at least they did during this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to see why did it go, because it was, it was very much like that at the start of the season. We had quite a few games like that. The overlaps were working. Zamora was bombing on, and we always wondered, was it because of injuries? And when we had Anthony and Zamora back together, would it click back? And it didn't really. It was almost like the whole side had gone very, very safe. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to see it back, because I think the frustration the fans have had, and hence the booing and various bits like that, is because we know how good this side can be. We're not we're not the sort of fan base that turn on a team. We've had enough crap teams over the years and loved them. It was, I think it was. We were also frustrated because we'd seen that start of the season, and we were like, well, why is it not happening again? So it was only one game, but hopefully it augurs well for. We do seem to play better against teams that attack us, and we played, particularly well against teams that play 4-4-2 because we get more space. So we've got a few more games like that coming up. So hopefully it'll augur well for us, because we've got some right tough fixtures, as I'm sure you're going to talk about later on.
Tom, you predicted the lineup. I mean, on the vlog, of course, you made a song and dance about it as per usual. Yes, Tom got it right, 11 out of 11, but it was one of the more predictable team sheets, wasn't it?
It probably was, yeah. I think we just knew that Billing and Smith were back, and I just thought he's going to put them straight back in. He got no reason not to. I think Smith, he likes his experience, and every time he's available, he plays in. And Billing seemingly as well. And Catwell's played a few lately, obviously come off at half time, and the one before that. So yeah, I was pretty confident with that team. You never know, kind of on the wings. Sometimes he throws in, a Dembele or a Lowe, but I felt he'd go Anthony and Christie, particularly away from home. So yeah, I was confident with that team, but you never know if there's a little surprise in there with a little knock or something. But it was the right team, but it was the way we went about it, and we played on the front foot. And as we've been saying, we let the shackles off, didn't we? And we just had a go at them. And as Neil mentioned there, it does help when teams set up the way Huddersfield did, gives us gaps. And I just think when teams try to go toe to toe with us, we're too good. We're too good. And I think on paper the fixtures look horrible, but I think it could suit us. I think one of our toughest games could be Bristol City at home, because I think they'll probably try and sit back a little bit more. But having said that, that was one of our best performances of the season as well, wasn't it, at Bristol? So yeah, it's all good. It was really nice to see, mate. Just really nice to see. It was relief. It was relief.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Those were the teams, and Huddersfield, they're a team that come out and attack. I mean, look, Parker said after the game, which I suppose is easy to say as a manager, I told the team in the week that they need to play with freedom, and we certainly did. But Tom, how much of that was down to the way Huddersfield played, do you think? Because playing that low block is always very, very difficult for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely something. I remember going into the game, worried that it was a tough game, but also thinking, it could suit us because they could come out. Because I felt that Huddersfield, they look at the playoffs, but if they ever wanted to look at top two, they had to win this game, in my opinion. So they're always going to come out a little bit, especially at home as well. Supporters kind of, expecting that. So yeah, that did suit us, but I don't think you take anything away from us either. We still had to implement it, and we've played a lot of games recently where we seem to be on the back foot and being pretty safe and conservative. So to just switch that to being more offensive and take the handbrake off, they do deserve credit for that. And we were clinical. When we had that chance early with Anthony, put it away straight away, and we just grew from that. So yeah, they definitely played into our hands a little bit, but that shouldn't take anything away from us. I think we've been critical lately when we've been quite conservative and safe. So we've got to give them the plaudits when they perform like that. And as Neil mentioned earlier, it's just that game is what is us going. That's why we've been annoyed, because we've got that. We've got the players to be able to do that. And it was nice to see as well. I thought that midfield kind of three of Lewis, Cook, Lerner and Billing all doing their different roles perfectly. Because we've all spoke about we've got too many deep players. Will it work with them three? And I thought it worked perfectly the way they went about it. And obviously Lerner getting on the score sheet as well shows that he can play it a little bit more advanced. And Lewis deep has just been ridiculous lately, hasn't he?
Yeah. Do you think, Neil, that team that play, that's the best team that we've got in terms of personnel? Would you have changed anything, do you think? Or going forward, would you change anything? Because I felt that Billing raised his game, certainly.
No, I think that will be the starting lineup. I was desperately hoping that he relegated Campbell to the bench and brought Billing back. So I know there were quite a few fans that aren't so keen on Billing, but I think Billing gives you goals and goal contributions, and we lack them in certain other areas of the pitch. So that would be 100% the team I think I'd start with. The only question mark I've got is, would Cahill be as good as he was at the start of the season again? Because I've not been over convinced by Nat Phillips. I think he's solid enough, but I think Cahill at the start of the season was better than Nat Phillips has been for the last 2 or 3 games. But we don't know, do we? Has he shot his bolt? Is there a reason why he's not playing? Did he never recover from being clattered by benicophobia? I don't think any of us would recover from that. But that's the only question mark I've got, is would Cahill be a better centre-back than Phillips? And will we ever see him again?
It feels like we've had a question mark over the centre-back pairing all season long, doesn't it? I mean, certainly the questions earlier in the season, whether Steve Cook will ever get another game. But it does feel now that almost Cahill's in that spot, the Steve Cook spot. Yeah. Someone else has come in, kind of, usurped him, pushed him out of the way. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I don't know really, but one thing I'm seeing is that the partnership, based on the last game, seems to be developing. But it's very easy to say. I mean, I'm not someone that gets particularly wooed by 90 minutes of football, and I want to see this brand being played against Bristol City and the match afterwards as well. One thing that I thought was relatively clear was that Nat Phillips in the last home game had a really good game, and could have been man of the match. Lloyd Kelly wasn't so good, but individually they're usually pretty strong, but as a combination not so much. And I think that Gary Cahill, I've said this on a pod before, his experience of the way he communicates with the back four, he commands it really. So he can tell Zamora or Jack Stacey or whoever's right back and left back whereabouts to go, whereabouts to be, and you can see him constantly gesturing. Nat Phillips doesn't do that as much. No. So I think for a while it put the onus back on Lloyd Kelly to be that man who has to think for the rest of the team and has to do more than just what his job is. Yeah. And that's one thing that I think maybe Nat Phillips might be starting to take back a little bit of power and almost share the responsibilities. Of course, Lloyd Kelly's got the armband, but I think maybe that's something that's troubled Lloyd a little bit.
I think what was key was Alan Smith being back, actually, because I think Lloyd Kelly, as you say, I think you bang on with that. I think him and Cahill kind of, yes, he's not wearing the armband, but we all know how experienced he is. And I just felt, when we're playing Kelly as a skipper alongside, a young player in Nat Phillips who's just come in, a young player in Zamora, and an experienced player in Jack Stacey to a degree, it put so much on Lloyd Kelly, and I thought his performance has suffered. Then we bring Smithy back in for Stacey, and I think it looked fine. And I think people don't realise the experience that Adam Smith's got, and I think Smith was crucial to that. So, it'll be interesting if I think there's too much wear and tear. I think that's what's happened. I think, Neil said it there, was that I remember that Millwall game, and he went down, and when he come back, he just wasn't the same player. No. But I think Nat Phillips has done okay. I think he's really good in the air. But as a partnership, nothing on what we saw earlier in the season in Cahill and Kelly. But I think Smith goes under the radar a little bit. I think he's a lot more crucial than we realise. It reminds me of when we had Daniels and we keep bringing in left backs, and no one's as good as Daniels really.
No, never could replace him.
And I feel the same now with Smithy. I think we bring in all these right backs that we think are brilliant. And I think Smith's still the best, in my opinion.
So that first goal then, Tom, you might have to talk me through it, because I've sort of lost memory of it already, but I know that Dom Solanke was sort of put through, and he looked up and he took it on a little bit and then saw that run from Anthony, and he timed it just right. Really good goal, that.
It was a really good move. I think it was Christie played a really nice ball through. And Solanke, he had an early chance, didn't he, where he kind of maybe hit it a bit too early.
He also hit it with the outside of his right foot as well, trying to hit it towards the far corner, which, that's always going to be difficult because it's bending into the keeper and then bending away. So it's a relatively easy save, I think. But
this time he just looked up. Yeah, he just looked up and saw Jane Anthony coming on the other side. And I think Scott said it after, that was clever from Anthony, seeing where the ball would potentially end up. Yeah. When you've got it all happening down one side, as the other winger, you've got to anticipate that it could come all the way through. And to be fair, I know it looks really easy. You could blaze that. Do you know what I mean? So he kept calm, and it was a nice finish from Jaden. I think his numbers are starting to back up his performances now, which I'm really pleased for him. So, it was a really good start. Like I say, we had that chance from Solanke, but they had a few little balls in the box. I think they had a half chance, didn't they? And I was a bit nervy, so that settled us down, I thought.
Yeah, they did have a couple of chances, didn't they, Neil? Because they had a corner that came over, and there was a little bit of a melee in the box, and their striker was only a couple of centimetres away from making contact, and it'd have been really interesting.
That Brexit striker, Danny Ward, the long hair.
You know the one.
It reminded me of every centre forward we ever played against in League One. Just huffed and puffed and threw himself at every cross.
Yeah.
But yeah, had he got his toes onto that, it could have been a different game, and it'd have been interesting to see how we would have mentally dealt with that. But they tested us a couple of times, but we got the goal at a very good time, I think. And after that goal, it just seemed to send confidence through the team, didn't it, Neil?
Yeah. I think, well, we know that I think we are quite a fragile team. When we go, if we go 1-0 up and play quite well for a little bit, you feel confident. If we go 1-0 down, you worry about the side. If they're 1-0 up and they concede. So I think emotionally they change quite a lot. That's something they might have to harden on the run-in. If you think of the great Eddie sides we had going up, that you go 2-0 down and they still look like they were going to win the game. But 1-0 up, playing against a team that played high against us, allowing us to break behind. I thought Lewis Cook was phenomenal again in terms of controlling the pace and the tempo of the game and spraying it around. And it all looked comfortable, and they looked confident.
Do you think we're anything? Are we any close to seeing prime Lewis Cook back again? Because we've had him where he's nearly been there, but now he's seemingly having that run of form in a position that he obviously likes, and we're now seeing results.
The last 3 games, he's been as good as we've seen him. So he had a little spell, didn't he, in the Premier League when he was outstanding, and then there was just too many injuries creeping in, and even this season, there's been times where I just thought he's probably even behind Gavin Kilkenny at one stage in the pecking order. And fair play to the lad, because he's kept battling away. And then you look at him in the last 3 games, and he would be the first midfielder I would start. So it's a hell of a turnaround. But no, he's showing everything that we know he's got: ability to turn on the ball, spray it, everything.
It's an interesting. I can't remember where I read it, so apologies if someone out there is watching and they know it was them. But somebody started making comparisons between him and Scott Parker as a player, and maybe Parker's influence in trying to get him to play in a certain way, or more like a certain way. It certainly feels now, Neil, doesn't it, that we've got 3 distinct roles in our midfield, and we've got 3 distinct type of players to play them. Yeah,
and I think the question mark player is Lerma. And I quite like the idea that he can sit deeper, because we know he's defensive midfielder, and he also adds energy in attack. I don't think he doesn't have flair, and he doesn't add subtlety in attack, but he adds energy in attack. And that's the role we've thought, where we sometimes had too many attacking players on the pitch. So his ability to dovetail between the two might work out really well, and as he proved with scoring with. It was probably a clearance, wasn't it? He was probably just trying to get it away.
Yeah. No, it was a beautiful finish from Jefferson.
But go on.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a very clever and opportunistic goal, because he placed it in the only place he possibly could. Yeah. And I know it dribbled in and it didn't, look that great. But Tom wants to say something.
I thought it looked beautiful.
Oh yeah, you would say that.
No, but I agree with what Neil was saying. I think what's nice about it is, yes, Lerma hasn't got the flair and all that, so he's not going to come in and score, double figures goals in that role. But I think what he's good at is, yes, he's got the legs, he's got the energy. It allows Lewis Cook to play in his preferred role. But equally, when you need to, he can just drop in, and you can have a double pivot there, and you can let Bill in. Yeah. And we were talking about, obviously, Bill in earlier for, a lot of people will say Cantwell's better potentially, but what Billing gives you is he gets a lot closer to Dom. And I think you can allow that to happen more when you've got Lerma in there as well as Lewis Cook. So I think that 3 is the combination we need to go with going forward. And, as Neil said, I think with Lewis Cook, he's playing some of the best stuff. My fear always with Lewis is that he has a good little run, then he gets a knock, and it puts him back again. And that's always been his problem. Yeah. I think in that role, I've never doubted what his ability. You always feel like there's a knock around the corner, and let's just hope he's got over that, because he's been absolutely sensational. But yeah, that midfield 3, I think, the whole team were good, but I think that midfield 3 was a real basis for us to go and get that win.
And I know Lerma doesn't score many, but one thing I do love about him, and this is my favourite thing about him, is in a midfield that quite often won't shoot, he will always have a go, won't he? Just have a go then. No one else is going to do it. I love that about him. Yeah.
And don't underestimate his passing either, because if you watch the goals back very closely, in the second goal, although he scored it, his better contribution was the wonderful first time pass that put Solanke through. That he played it almost without looking. If you watch the reverse angle footage, you see it at its best. It's a hell of a pass. And then also he sprayed the ball across for Anthony for the third goal. So he had really direct passing contributions to two of the goals as well. So, which is fantastic.
So speaking of the third goal, were you there? Did you see it? Because it was very, very quick after 50 seconds after the game restarted. Myself and Tom were just finishing off our.
There's a shock.
There's
a shock.
I was talking to you and I literally went, "Man, I can't believe this. We're 2-0 up. I haven't missed a goal." And then we had a roar. I can't believe it.
If you hadn't learned the lesson from Fulham, then you'll never learn it.
Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah. So it was, and it was a great team. I mean, you've seen it back yourselves now. It was a great team move. Fantastic. And it was
there's nothing better than those goals, in my opinion. I love those type of goals where we go from one end of the pitch to the other. I always rave about the Dan Gosling goal at Southampton that brought us back to 1-1, which was we were up the other end of the pitch in a heartbeat. And like you say, Jefferson Lerma, Jay Lurk, he was pivotal in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, he strode onto it, sprayed it to Anthony. It was. I tell you what, if you were to put a montage together of all of our early season goals, that was it. That was that goal, because you had Billing arriving exactly like Forest and Birmingham City in all those games that we went to early doors. Bristol City, Billing arriving in that, very far advanced in that left channel, and it all sort of hinging from that. But what a clever finish. I mean, Sam, as a top striker yourself, I bet you were just thinking, wonderful.
Yeah. I played for him Sunday. He wasn't that good.
I think I scored a couple. And unfortunately, it's very similar to that Callum Wilson goal in the West Brom at home, where we won 1-0. I think it was his first goal that he'd scored for ages. He'd just come back from injury, hadn't scored for ages. And because of Premier League, coverage, you've got so many really good angles of that. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a single angle that does that goal justice, because it was one of those where he let it run just past him, but then somehow, was it his left foot that he put? I don't know how he did it, but it was very, very good.
Crossed him essentially.
Yeah. It was a replica of Callum Wilson.
Yeah,
you're 100% right, and we said that at the time of the game. But you're right. There's not one angle you can find where you can see the ball hitting his foot.
No, that's right.
That is a pain, because it's genius. It's genius. It's just that moment, and probably the confidence he's in at the moment, but just that instinct of just going for that. And it was, as Neil said, it was just a great move, and it was that bidding off that left channel, just making that run. Anthony playing the weight of the pass perfectly. It was just, as you say, that's one of my favourite goals for a long time. But I had to see it back on the telly.
And and Phil Bill was really good in that match, wasn't he? Because there were debates in amongst the fan base of Billing or Cantwell, but obviously he missed those couple of games, and he's come back fighting. He wants to start, and that was a really good performance from him against his old side as well. So he had more impetus as well. Yeah, no,
it was, and I think he goes around with that arrogance sometimes. Of I almost like the fact that he was getting booed. He almost seemed to like it. He took ages to get off the pitch and clap the Bournemouth fans when he got subbed and stuff. I think he liked it in a weird way. But I appreciate why there's going to be that Cantwell Billing kind of comparison. But I think they're very different players. I really do. I agree. I don't think they're the same sort of players. I think Cantwell for a lot of his career has actually played kind of off the sides, off the left. But equally, he likes to get the ball a bit deeper, in my opinion, as well. Billing's I alluded to it earlier, Billing's going to get a lot closer to Dom. And I think you're going to get a lot more out of Dom if you've got Phil Bill on the pitch. And I think with the two, as we said, kind of alongside him in midfield, I think it really suits it. I mean, Campbell's a class act, I think. He hasn't, he's not fully sharp yet, in my opinion, but he's a class act. And what a player to have on the subs bench, by the way. But I don't think there's that comparison. I think they're very, very different footballers. I really do. I don't think you're going to get the same sort of thing out of either of them. There might be certain games that suit one or the other.
That's what I was going to say. I think games like that where we've got space to exploit, Billing finds little pockets of space and he can really damage teams, can't he?
Yeah.
I think Cantwell, from what I've seen from when he's come on and we've had to play against a team that have kind of dropped really deep and had that low block, he tends to prefer that, or seems to be better at that than Billing.
He wants to go find it, doesn't it?
Yeah, he wants to go find it. He moves all around the pitch for the ball rather than you having a find Billing who will be in space.
Grealish light, that's what I call him. He's like Grealish light.
Yeah.
Likes to get it a little drift around, slow the play down, walk a bit with the ball, and then suddenly speed up. He's very, very, very different. Phil Billing, I think, has to be all action.
Yeah,
he gets bogged down when it's too close. I mean, I think we all with legs like that.
Yeah. And their fans are usually incredibly loud, and they were silenced, pretty damn early. Obviously, that third goal, what a time to score it, straight after half time. And we were sort of going through the motions for the rest of the half, really, wasn't it? It was really controlled. And this is the type of control we want to see, Tom, isn't it? Where we are creating chances. I mean, I think Jayden Anthony cutting on his right foot, and you're looking at that thinking, that nearly nestled inside the post. But that's how we want to control games, when we're 3-0 up, not when we're walking a tightrope at 1-0.
Yeah, no, that was control, and they didn't really. So I think there was one literally last kick of the game that Chavez made a bit of a save, but I don't think I really ever felt threatened that they could kind of get themselves back in the game, because it was very comfortable. They tried to change a few bits, but didn't really threaten us. And I just felt we went about our business really well. We kept on the front foot. We didn't retreat, and I think maybe when you've got that 3-goal lead, it's easier to play with that freedom and that expression, because you think you've 3-goal lead here. And I wonder if it's also subconsciously in the players sometimes, when they're already a goal ahead, they don't make that extra burst, or they don't take that extra touch, and it's a little bit more conservative. They maybe go backwards a little bit more than forwards. But yeah, everything was, the way we controlled that game at 3-0 was just bang on. That was the blueprint of what you do at 3-0 up.
It must have been extremely frustrating for Huddersfield supporters, actually, because they went all out, didn't they, Neil? And kind of £10 a ticket, as many people as they can, build it. They put a lot of pressure on themselves for that game. Which might have been their undoing, because I don't think we saw the Huddersfield that other people have seen in other games, really.
No, and it's weird. 17 games unbeaten, wasn't it? Then they lost in the week at Millwall. And I think we know ourselves, you go one of two ways, don't you? You either come flying back strong, or it brings you down. And I think because on paper, they're a squad that's come from right up close to the relegation zone. They probably don't really believe they're of the ilk of the teams that they're around. And I think playing us was the wrong side for them to play to get themselves back onto a little run. But at least we got to sing songs about there was one great song, wasn't there, about it being 10 quid and you still can't something.
Yeah, there's a few little jibes at them for making it on their big day out.
But I always love going there. It's always been one of my favourite stadiums. We had some sad occasions there, as a lot of us will remember. But it's always a good atmosphere, and it's a good town.
It is a good town.
Yeah. It is a good town. I could see the stadium from my bed in my Travelodge where I was. Just open the curtains and there it was. And I love the design of the stadium as well. It's very unique, and they managed to create a really good atmosphere in there. And they were loud at first. I don't think they were as loud as they were for the 4-1, which is understandable in the Premier League. However, I mean, Neil, what message does that now send out to the rest of the division, or does it?
I don't think it does in this division, because it is just the strangest division. I mean, we predict the fixtures to come. Any of those fixtures to come, we could win, draw, or lose, and none of us would be in the slightest bit surprised. So I think not only is the Championship notoriously like this, but we have become a side that we just don't know what side's going to turn up. So if you add the two things together, I don't know if it does send any message, to be honest.
Yeah. It does seem. I mean, we're going to get to the predictor in a minute, aren't we? And think about the next.
My favourite bit.
But it does seem, isn't it? I mean, if you look at those playoff positions, I'd love to see how much that has changed throughout the season, because it feels to me that there's been, probably 12 clubs in and out of those spaces over the last. Yeah. It just seems crazy, and I mean. All of a sudden, looking over our shoulder now, who is it? It's Luton. I mean, blooming out, where did they come from?
Yeah, I know, incredible. And I still think that probably the strongest two sides aren't in the playoffs at the moment, in Forest and Borough. I think, now they've got the cup out the way, the form they're in and the players they've got. I think, if you were in the playoffs now, you'd be thinking, well, two of us aren't going to be there in the end, because I can't believe that Forest and Borough won't be in the playoff shake-up.
Yeah, I think it's Forest and up, isn't it, really, that are kind of competing for it. But yeah, I think I agree. I've always just felt obviously hoping that we'll get second, that Borough are going to be the team that do it. I wonder if it's a little bit of that bias of when we went there. I thought they were brilliant, and maybe that little cup run they've had, as you know, on the telly and stuff. I've maybe seen a bit more of them, but Chris Wilder, I like him. I feel like Borough are going to be the team that are going to do it personally, but that's via the playoffs, of course, because no one's coming for us in second, mate. I think we've got to be all right now. It would be an absolute car crash, mate. We've got to be all right now. But I wanted to mention as well what Neil said earlier about they went on that mad run, Huddersfield, and then they lost just before our game. Benik Afobe. Oh, what a legend. Yeah. What a legend. Benik Brace. And I forget, he used to play for Huddersfield, didn't he? He used to play for Huddersfield as well as us. So, yeah, that was a nice touch from him. And, I think we saw that. I think we were saying it in the week. Danny Ward, who played up front for Huddersfield, scored against us in that League One playoff game. Yeah. And Benik scored in the first leg. Like, really, really weird. Yeah, little kind of comparisons there. But yeah, Benik's still doing the business. Never doubted him.
It went full circle a little bit with Benik Afobe because he came to Bournemouth. I remember him scoring on his debut. It was a 3-0 home against Norwich. Charlie Daniels put in a wicked cross from the left. Everyone was chanting his name.
Was he a January?
Yeah. Got him and grabbed him, didn't we?
I think, and then he left the club. And, due to some poor performances, anytime anyone missed, we would all sing his name. Oh, Benik Afobe. And then this season at Millwall, we, as a sort of mark of respect, obviously he's been through a lot, but he scored for Millwall. We're singing his name. And now we're singing his name again because he's come back and helped us again. And like, poor bloke, don't know whether he's coming or going. But
whoever said football fans were fickle.
Who said we were fickle? But to me, two of his most special goals for me were anyone that scores in a win against Southampton will have a place in my heart forever, because there aren't many Bournemouth players that have scored in a win against Southampton over the years. And one of my favourite ever games that I went to, the 2-2 draw at Liverpool. At Anfield, and he was superb in that game, and he scored the opener. It's sort of game where everyone said that he's well off the level of that game. He should have been, but he was excellent. Bullied them all night and scored the opener. So
I think it summed up his Bournemouth career for me. I wasn't at the game, so people who were watching in the stand would have got a different view. But away at Crystal Palace in the pink shirt, where there's a shot which is saved, and he gets a bit of his head on it, and I'm like, oh, Benik, I can't believe. Oh, it's gone in. And it's somehow nestled in the corner of the net. And obviously Pewey brought that one back to 1-0 when he scored the winner in that one. So summed it up for me. But yeah, he came right for us. And this trajectory, Neil, is going to happen for the rest of the season with kind of weird results and people helping us out and people doing us favours. I mean, there have been umpteen times where we haven't won games and there are other teams that have helped us out. It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be an absolute lottery from start. I just hope we've got, to Tom's point, I hope we've got enough points and no one's coming to us. Such a shame we didn't get those 2 home wins, because I think then we could sit back and enjoy watching it. But we'll talk about it in a minute, but we've got Borough, Sheffield United and Forest. They're the 3 pivotal ones, aren't they? Because I think those 3 sides are looking stronger and stronger as the season goes on. And it's only our early season form that separates us from them.
Yeah, great.
I was talking to Jeff about this, and we were trying to decide: is it 4 more wins or 5 more wins? It might sound a little bit presumptuous, but I just think that probably would give us quite enough.
4 and a couple of draws or something, maybe. Yeah, I think
so. No, we'll find out.
Look, shall we work it out? Neil, do you want to take part in this predictor that we're doing?
I can do.
Okay.
If you want me.
Yeah,
we always want you,
always. He sounds well up for it, doesn't he? Right. make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Plenty of content on the way. So this is the final 10, and even over the next 2 weeks during international break, there's plenty of content on the way with us 3, Neil, who you can see, and also Jeff Hayward, and you as well, as the free-for-alls return online. And of course, we're going to be at every game vlogging and doing the post-match interviews. April, mate, promises to be unbelievably busy.
Massive,
Yeah.
you say.
Looks pretty tiring. It's mad, isn't it? We've got bloody Why have we got an international break?
Yeah.
Crazy when you've got all these fixtures we've got coming up. But gives a bit of momentum, mate. Take a few off. It'll be fine. And as I think Boro's been put for telly now as well.
Yes,
so,
it has. Yeah. I don't think it
hasn't moved. No.
It won't affect anything, which is good in terms of the times, which is great. But look, there are plenty of matches which we need to catch up on, of course.
Yeah.
So the first of which we're actually going to do, which was from match week 22 that didn't get played between Sheffield United and Queen's Park Rangers. So for that, I'm going to come to Tom Jordan. Right. Go on, give me a prediction of how it's going to go.
I'm going to go. Oh, Sheffield United and QPR. Sheffield United looks so much better at the moment. I think I'm not convinced on QPR. I'm going to go for 2-1 Sheffield United for that one.
2-1 Sheffield United. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we have put it into the system. Neil, then we'll come to you for Peterborough United versus Luton Town. Then
local derby, and Peterborough turning their form around with Grant McCann. So I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1. Okay, let's put that one in there. Perfect. Tom, Middlesbrough versus Fulham. Do you want to do this one?
Oh, that's a big game, isn't it? That is a big game. They drew in the reverse fixture, didn't they? 1-1. I'll go the same. I'll go for a 1-1 draw in that one as well. So, I find it really difficult to separate them. So I'll go 1-1 in that one. But I'll probably be edging towards Middlesbrough if I have to pick one. But I think 1-1's further.
Tiggs, Nottingham Forest versus Coventry City.
Well, see, that's another tight one, isn't it? I mean, Covs have done well, haven't they? Really, this season. Looking forward to going to their place. Nottingham Forest versus Coventry. I think Nottingham Forest just looks so. Their squad. They're going to get some players back as well soon from injury. So I'm going to go Forest with a 1-0 win.
Okay, Forest there with a 1-0 win. And what we'll do is we'll come to the chat as well. And let's see what people think about the remaining fixture. West Bromwich Albion versus AFC Bournemouth. We want to know what you say. In the meantime, Neil Dawson, that's going to be a pretty tricky match, isn't it?
It is. I'm really looking forward to it. Another good ground to go to. Of all the games that we'll play where you think, that's quite a tricky fixture, I'm more confident about this one because Steve Bruce will go 4-4-2. He'll try and get up the pitch at us. And I think it'll be similar to Huddersfield in that we'll be playing quite agricultural players and we'll get in behind them. So I'm less worried about that. So I would go for a small away win, 2-1.
I probably agree with Neil there. I do think that we're going to win that game. I really do. My only worry is West Brom have now got Brucey, haven't they? And probably a bit more of a pragmatic kind of coach. Would they sit back a little bit? But then there's no reason for them to sit back where they are in the league. It'll be an intriguing game, I think. But I'd like to think we can nick that. But let's obviously let the chat come in, see what kind of things they have on us. But what do you reckon, Tim? West Brom away, I feel like we can nick that.
Yeah, I do actually. I do.
I wouldn't take a draw. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we could win that.
Yeah, I would. I think we can. I think that'd be a really good one to sort of nail our colours and the masts on. Definitely.
Yeah. So go on then. You're going for Tiggs.
Well, Neil said slight away win. I've said slight away win. Tiggs said slight away win. The chat saying slight away win. So do your worst, Sam.
There's a few people saying 2-0 defeat. 3-0 to the Ches here. We got 1-0 to West Bromwich. But overall, it looks like the 2-1.
Well, let's be scientific about this, right? Yeah. West Brom are going to they're going to need to win that game, aren't they?
Well, I don't even.
If they've got any aspirations of anything,
if
they want to make a late charge, which they can still do.
They'll launch the ball to Carroll, won't they? It might cause a few problems.
Yeah, they're gonna come at us. They're gonna give us loads of space.
Yeah, we'll nick it.
Loads of space.
1-2. There we go. I'm going for it.
You know, it's going up.
Right, Neil. What we're going to do? We're going to come to you and give us 30 seconds of your analysis of AFCB versus Nottingham Forest. Go on. What do you think?
I think this is one I worry about. So I think this will be one where we'll slip up and get a little bit nervous. So I think Forest are a really good side. They're on form. They play direct attacking football. I think they'll get at us. I think they're quite a force. So my gut feel is I think Steve Cook may well be back as well. Lewis Grabban, he'll want to put one over on us. Of the games that we've got left, it's this and the Sheffield United and the Middlesbrough game where I think we won't get 3 points. So I'm gonna. I hate saying it, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 defeat.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
2-1 defeat.
It's a Steve Cook header, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or a long throw from Steve Cook, flicked on by Sam Surridge and grabbing at the back stick.
Yeah. But then Steve Cook will get sent off round ball.
Oh yeah, good shout.
Later on. Yeah.
But no, I do think that's a tough one. I agree with what Neil's saying there. I think weirdly as well. At home, I feel like sometimes we get drawn. I feel like if it was away, we might be able to catch them and stuff like that. But I think they're. And I think Forest and Middlesbrough, as Neil said, that cup run's gone. I mean, concentrate on this now. I think
they've looked so good in those cup runs, haven't they? It's incredible. So you know that they're up for the big games.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Which we are, of course.
Of course.
Swansea City. Then this is one of our matches that we need to catch up on.
Yeah,
Tom, Swansea versus AFC Bournemouth.
I think we're going to win here. I really think we'll win at Swansea. I think they're quite an expansive football team. We saw that in the home fixture with Russell Martin in charge. He was very similar when he came to us at MK Dons first game in the cup, and I know it's different level, but 1-1, 5-0, 1-4-0. I think it suited us the way they played. Swansea haven't got an awful lot to play for. Well, they haven't got anything to play for, in my opinion. I think they'll have a go, and I think we'll be too strong for them. I can understand if people say we might maybe draw it. It's a tough away game, but I think we'll have too much for Swansea. I think that's a really good fixture, Swansea away. Don't know what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, Neil. Are we going to get a result of Swansea?
Yeah, perfect sort of side, similar to Huddersfield, set up to come forward and attack. Not got anything to play for. We should take an all right following there midweek. I think we'll win. I think we'll win that one quite comfortably.
Yeah.
All right then. What?
2-0?
Yeah. Let's call it a 2-0 then.
Yeah.
Let's call it a 2-0.
We've done all right at Swansea as well. I've been there a few times. I don't think I've ever seen us lose there, actually.
No.
Yeah, got a decent record there.
Match week 39 then. This match is actually going to be played on the 26th of April, but Fulham against Nottingham Forest. That'd be quite a tasty one, that, wouldn't it, Tiggs?
Yeah, it will. I mean, it's funny this because Tom and I were talking about Fulham, weren't we, earlier before we started coming on here. And if you look at Fulham's reverse fixtures,
of what they've got coming up, 12 points they get. They dropped quite a lot, loads and loads of draws. Yeah.
But was this one of them? I don't think this was.
No, this was one they won comfortably.
They come like 4-0 or something.
Yeah, they played Forest at a decent time then. But that's going to be a real tricky one. And the fact they've got, as we just looked there, we've just done Borough and then they've got Forest. They're really horrible games. Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon, Tiggs? Go on, I'm letting you have this one.
I think Fulham are going to need to win this. So I'm going to go with 2-0 win for Fulham.
Neil, are you okay with that?
Yep, I think they will. I think it'll be closer, but yeah, I think Fulham will edge it.
Yeah. All right, then, Neil. I'll come to you for Borough, Middlesbrough versus Cardiff City as well.
Borough versus Cardiff City will be a comfortable Borough win, 3-0.
Yeah. 3-0. All right. Okay. Let's go on to match week 40 then. And look, this is where there's a full program, so we'll sort of whittle through these as quick as we possibly can, and I'll go around each of us as we do this. And Tom, you've got the delights of Hull versus Huddersfield.
Yep. I think Hull should be relatively safe. I would have thought so. Huddersfield, the team got lots to play for. I think they'll nick it, so I'll go 1-0 Huddersfield.
1-0 Huddersfield. Tiggs, Blackpool versus Nottingham Forest, buddy.
Yeah, Forest all the way for me.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Comfortable. I mean,
3-0.
But Blackpool are quite a good side.
Yeah, I just think
3-0.
Yeah, I do. Well, I'm thinking at this stage. I mean, what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left after this one. I just don't know if Blackpool can have a lot to play for
on the beach. I think that happens a lot. I've seen it in the Premier League recently. Southampton have been pulling out good results, and the last few they've just not done anything.
Drifting away.
Because they're on the beach now. And Blackpool will certainly be on some sort of beach.
Yeah, that's what we would do.
Not our beach.
Yeah, All right then. Well, I'll barter with you and go 2-0.
Okay, mate.
Lads and ladies on chat, Bournemouth versus Bristol City. Put your score predictions in chat now. People are starting to do it already, including Wing, who's gone for a 3-2 there.
Oh, that's a goal-heavy game. Love it.
Very goal-heavy. Put Bristol City in the chat so we know that you're referring to this one. In the meantime, then, who else have we got next on the list? Would it be Luton v Millwall? I'm not mistaken.
Coventry Blackburn.
Of course, Coventry v Blackburn. Then,
Go on, you have it, Sam. Take it on, because that's a tricky fixture. For
That's
Blackburn,
really
in my
hard.
opinion.
I think every Coventry fixture's a hard one. I don't know why.
I want to go for a draw.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Blackburn. You know what? They're since Brereton Diaz.
Is he back? Is he coming back?
I don't know if he'll make the last few games potentially. I think it's similar to like Keith Moore with us. He might make the last few, but
I'll go for 1-0.
yeah, I agree. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it ends up on the predictor. But I can't see Blackburn making the playoffs personally.
Just a reminder that we're doing the top 9 teams only because we believe that Mill and below will not be in contention for the playoffs. That's what we're going for. But
Apologies, any other fans of other.
Millwall get in there, aren't they?
yeah, I know Mill will so get.
We just bigged up Benegaphobia, and then we got it on the predictor.
All right then, Neil, you've got Luton versus Millwall.
Luton Millwall. Luton to win 2-1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Luton 2-1. Okay. Great stuff. Peterborough versus Middlesbrough, Tom?
I think Middlesbrough win it 1-0. I think Peterborough will scrap. They'll be scrapping for their lives, but this will be one where they think they're not going to quite have enough. So I think Middlesbrough will nick it 1-0.
QPR v Fulham. Quite an interesting one, but QPR, I mean, we know what happened at home the other day to Peterborough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3-1,
Yeah. I think that's behind them though. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah.
They've had good form for most of the season.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's quite a tasty kind of local game for both of them. It's a bit of derby, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 with that one.
1-1 with that one there. Neil, do you want to do Stoke City v Sheffield United?
Yeah, it will be my pleasure. It's a gritty northern game, if ever I've heard of one. I reckon Sheffield United will win. It's Stoke on a right drop off at the moment, aren't they? Sheffield United to win 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, and also Tom, Birmingham City v West
Don't need to do it.
Albion.
Don't need to do it because neither team are in the top 9.
What? West Brom not in the
They're
top 12? You're joking.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what?
I know.
That's so hard to think that they're
When
not.
you think the start of the season, they were the ones we were going to worry about. They've fallen off.
That's
the cliff.
all right. So look, let's
see
go back to the
Bournemouth
chat
coming.
then, and we're going to see what people are saying. I mean, Morgan's going 6-0. We've got 2-1s all over the place. We've got 2-0. We got a 1-0 to Bristol City here.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. 2-1 Dan, 3-0. We've got 3-1, 2-1 win. Across the board, it looks to be home win. So this is not the Saturday coming, but the Saturday after that, isn't it? Are we going to carry on that form? It looks like we will. I'm going to go. I'm going to put 2-1 in there. Is that okay?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I'm a little bit torn because I think it was one of our best performances at Bristol, and we've just come off the back of a really good win. But equally, that's the sort of fixture that we've seen recently, and evidence proves that we'll struggle.
Yeah, I don't think Bristol are going to play the same game against us, probably, are they, Neil? That they played against us the first time we played them.
No, they'll be away from home. They'll be a bit more pragmatic about it, so it will be a little harder. But I still think we should have enough.
Yeah.
All right, then, Neil. Come on, then. You can give us the. Oh my God. You know what, Neil? Let's come to you for this one. Sheffield United versus AFC Bournemouth. We're going to come to you for this one because I'll tell you what, that is. I don't know. I've got a horrible feeling about that game.
I also think this is another one of our running defeats. I think I think we've got 3 or 4 defeats that we can comfortably have.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fired up for this one. They're on a great run. They're a good side full of Premier League players, similar to us. I think they'll beat us 1-0.
Yeah. Not great. All right, then. Let's raise the tempo with the rest of these. We'll go through quickly. Tom, Blackburn v Blackpool.
Tight game, but I think Blackburn will have that one. I'll go 2-1 Blackburn.
2-1. Okay, no worries at all. Middlesbrough versus Hull City, Tiggs.
I Middlesbrough for me still. 2-1.
2-1 to Middlesbrough. Okay, no worries. Next, Nottingham Forest against Birmingham City. I think that's got to be a home win, isn't it? And I'd say it's a comfortable 2-0. I mean, they could wipe the floor, but let's just, for argument's sake, they'll probably have to rotate a little bit. Go for 2-0. Queen's Park Rangers are travelling to Preston North End. Will they have the same issues that we will up at Deepdale?
And also they're dropping off like a stone, aren't they? So I think they're on their way out of the playoffs, and I think they'll get a draw there, 1-1.
1-1. Yeah. Okay, no worries. If only we could have done that as well. Fulham versus Coventry, Tom.
I think Fulham will have too much this time. I agree with what Tig says. Coventry's always a tricky one, but I think they'll have too much. I'll go 3-1 to Fulham.
3-1.
They're stinging because they've just got a draw against QPR.
Oh, exactly.
They're coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And then Huddersfield versus Luton Town, Tiggs.
Big game.
Oh, that's a massive game, isn't it? I think that's probably where Huddersfield's depth will show. So I'm going to go with Huddersfield win, I think.
Go on, scoreline.
I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Right, there we go. That's match week 41. Cherries fans, we're coming for you. AFC Bournemouth versus Middlesbrough. Put your predictions in chat. Put Borough in there so we know the score prediction. But put AFCB and Borough so we know you're not saying it's a Borough win or whatever. Let us know what you think the score's going to be for that. In the meantime, we're going to come to Neil for Derby County against Fulham.
2-0. Derby season's pretty much over now, I think. And the battle game for League 2-0.
Huddersfield v QPR, Tom?
I think Huddersfield. I think QPR will be going on the downward. Huddersfield will be doing all right. Just come off the back of that big win against Luton, as Tig said. So I'm going to say Huddersfield to. I don't know. Yeah, Huddersfield to nick it. I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Huddersfield.
Huddersfield to nick it 2-1. Luton v Nottingham. You know what? We talk about us having.
Everyone's got tough.
Everyone's playing each other. So just let them get on with it. We probably won't need to play. Kenilworth Road then. Luton v Nottingham Forest.
I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think that's going to be a really cracker of a game. And I think both teams are going to really. I think the playoffs are still going to be. I think there's still going to be sort of 8 teams that could get in there.
And obviously the goals will be Harry Cornick, Lewis Graben, and that sounds
yeah.
Peterborough versus Blackburn. Peterborough scrapping for their lives. Blackburn not doing so great, but I think they will have a couple of results.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to counteract this with the fact I think this could be a draw.
Yeah.
I think it could be a draw. So for this one, I'm going to go for a 1-1 here. Hope that is okay with everyone. Neil, Sheffield United at home. I don't know why you always get Sheffield. At home to Reading.
Comfortable. When I say comfortable, they're Reading on a bit of an up, but I think they'll have too much from 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. And they're a side that will probably kill Reading off, unlike us, eh? Yeah. Who else have we got? No, that looks like it's it. Match week 42. Apart from the Bournemouth game, of course, and this is what people are saying in chat. 2-1. We've got a 3-0 here. We've got a 3-1. We've got a 1-1. We've got a 2-0. We've got a 2-0 here. We've got a 2-1. There are some 1-0s. There are some 1-0s here. Smaggies. I've never heard them called Smaggies.
Smoggies.
Oh, Smoggies.
Smoggies. Yeah.
Smoggies.
Yeah.
Smaggies.
Because of all the chemical factories and the smoke.
Right.
There's. You know what?
I think we got a 2. I think we're going to go for a 2-1 mean. But you think a draw?
I don't know.
It does look like more draws now, doesn't it? There are a lot of draws.
I think it's a draw.
I think it's a draw.
Well, Neil thinks it's a draw. I'm going to go with Neil.
Right. Let's go for 1-1.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I think that'll be a draw. Yeah.
Wow.
I think almost weirdly both teams take it.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point Middlesbrough would be like, a second's too far away, but we need to hang on to the playoffs, take a point at Bournemouth. And Bournemouth will be thinking we just need to get a point. So I think both teams kind of take it, if you know what I mean.
4 left.
4 left. And AFC Bournemouth against Coventry City. In chat, put your Cov blank AFC Bournemouth blank scores in. Let us know how you think it's going to go. Right then, who have we got? Tom, is it Blackburn for you?
Yeah. Blackburn, Stoke. I honestly think Blackburn will be dying out. I think that'd be a 1-1 draw. Yeah. Yeah, I think Stoke would. Andy on their day, I think it'd be a 1-1.
All right. We'll let you have that. Tiggs, Bristol City are going to be entertaining Sheffield United.
Sheffield, I think. I think they're going to win 1-0.
Have we predicted them to drop points yet, Sheffield
I
United?
don't think we have actually.
No, we haven't.
No, they're flying.
Oh my
They
god!
got good running. They got good running compared to
They
Forest.
got the best running, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm a little bit nervous about this. Right, Cardiff versus Luton.
Cardiff Luton. Do you want me to do it? I'll go 1-0 Luton.
Yeah. Okay. 1-0 Luton. And Neil, I understand you are going to have to be off soon, so
I've got curry and an angry wife.
Yeah. All right then. So I'll let you do the
This
last
is my
one.
last one.
Fulham versus Preston.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought I was doing the Bournemouth one. Yeah, Fulham
No.
versus Preston will be a comfortable 4-0.
4-0.
Always leaves on a high, don't it?
Disappointing afternoon for Mitrovic, though. He's only going to get a hat-trick.
Only a hat trick. Neil, pleasure to have you on, mate.
Enjoy your curry, mate,
I'll be watching the rest of this with a curry.
Love it.
and a wife.
Hello, everyone. Up the chest.
Cheerio,
Cheers,
mate.
Neil.
Later, bye.
Thank you, mate. That's Neil Dawson there. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a little shifty around here. If we can,
nice.
Why are you
yeah.
covering me?
There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. You happy?
Yeah, I'm right now. Yeah.
Good. In fact, mate, what we'll do is we'll do one of these ones instead.
Oh, hello.
Oh, a
Oh,
different.
what are
You
you
know
doing?
what? I play around with these views. There we go. You happy with that?
Yeah, no, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
Take it.
All right then.
Right, what are we on?
So
get
next,
excited.
Middlesbrough against Huddersfield.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. That.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I reckon it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Is that okay?
I'm happy with that, Sammy.
we're
I'm
right,
happy with that.
We're right.
Always back you, mate.
Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield, 1-1. All right then. Nottingham Forest versus West Bromwich Albion.
You doing it, too?
I've got a feeling that might be a draw as well.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think West Brom will be a tough team to crack.
2-2.
Like it.
West Brom, are they good away, are they?
I don't know.
But
Andy
a
Carroll.
draw? Yeah, no, I suppose. I mean, look, Forest aren't going to be flawless.
Mate,
are
we
they?
know what this league's like. Anything can happen. Do you know what I mean?
Might have another manager by then.
Yeah, who knows? I think, we've got the QPR derby, I think it's also going to be a draw. We'll go 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. Okay, there we go. Right, AFC Bournemouth versus Coventry City. We nearly shared the table there.
Oh, you cheeky monkey.
Let's see what people are saying in chat here. We've got 2-1 to AFC Bournemouth. We've got 2-1 to Bournemouth as a 3-0 there. That's a 2-0. Coventry 2, Bournemouth 0.
Who's that?
Ironica.
You've got a bit of inside information there, ironically.
We got a 2-0 to Cherries.
I think we're going to nick it.
2-1.
Yeah.
I think we will because you know what? I know
They're quite an open team.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And it's still Mark. Is it Mark Robbins there?
Yeah,
Still?
and
he's going to be having the same.
I think you've got to look at where we are in the season when we play them, and they'll have nothing to lose. Then I feel like they'll have the most. They'd have to go on the most unbelievable run to get playoffs. I feel like it will be virtually impossible for them at this point.
I'd love it if they get playoffs then.
Yeah, but I think they'll just go for it. I really do.
agree,
I think they'll just go for it, and it'll be a good game. But
they'll be setting up ready for next season.
Yeah.
These teams now, won't they? They'll be trying things
That's
out.
what I mean,
They'll trying
yeah.
players into positions, and
So we were going for what?
I was going to say 3-1 originally.
All right.
But if you two want
I
to,
like that.
3-1.
I think it'll be quite a good game. Good for. And I think we won 3-1 there once actually last season.
Was that when Dan Gosling scored?
Yeah,
that,
it was on the telly, wasn't it?
He scored a couple in that game, I think.
Yeah, he did. He scored a screamer, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he scored a screamer, then he scored one up close.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, I think that'll be a good game. But I think we'll win that one.
Wow.
Cherries fans, you got to check this out. We're going to go with the Parker Ball Cup here.
I don't want to. We've got to leave this to the chat because I know he's one of them.
Yeah.
Bournemouth versus Fulham. Put your predictions in chat. AFC Bournemouth blank, Fulham blank. Let us know. Wow. Okay. We'll leave that one till a bit later on after we do Huddersfield Town versus Barnsley. Barnsley scrapping for points, and they had that mini run, but kind of looks like they've tailed off a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, it died off a little bit. They'll still be scrapping. It's a bit of a local derby, that one.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go for a 1-1 because I think that'll be, it's a game where both teams will be bang up for it. Local derby. Huddersfield, a bit of pressure on them. Yeah, let's go for a 1-1 for Huddersfield against Barnsley, I think.
Huddersfield 1.
1-1.
Barnsley 1.
Yeah.
All right then. Luton Town versus Blackpool, Tiggs.
Ooh. Luton Town versus Blackpool. I think Luton, they're going to be wanting to keep those places, aren't they? So yeah, I'm going to go Luton again. Sorry, Blackpool fans, I keep going against you, don't I? I mean, like do that a couple of times now.
Have they won a game yet?
No, Blackpool will be going down at this rate. No, yeah, I agree. I think Luton love too much.
Yeah.
Right. So what's that? We go on
2-0.
2-0. Lovely.
Lovely.
Peterborough United versus Nottingham Forest. I think whilst I gave Peterborough the benefit of the doubt by getting a draw at home in their last one, I think Forest might have too much.
Yeah, I agree. So
I'm going to go for a 2-1 of that.
Grab and brace.
And Blackburn are at Preston North End, Tom.
I'm going to go. Actually, I think I'll go 1-0 in that as well. We know too well how Preston are bloody annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'll be a tough one for them. 1-0 draw.
Sheffield United versus Cardiff, Six.
I want to say they're going to lose a game, but
I'm going to draw.
Ooh,
they might.
They can't. Yeah, it's the Championship. No one's going to win every game.
No.
So yeah, I like that.
We got 1-0.
All right, 1-0. I'll do what you say. Stoke City versus Queen's Park Rangers. Whilst QPR's form has been a little sketchy, I mean, this is either a draw or a QPR win. I don't think Stoke City will be getting a win. Obviously, it's the Championship. It probably will be a Stoke win. But for this, I want to go for like a 0-1, if that's okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to go 0-1.
we've been there and done it on a cold Tuesday night.
Swansea Middlesbrough.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Nice.
You know what I said about Swansea being really expansive and stuff like that?
Lovely pitch.
Yeah, I just feel like that could be a real cracker. I'm going to go for Borough being on a good run in terms of what we've been predicting. I think that'd be a 2-2 draw.
And West Brom are at home to Coventry City.
And we're not doing it because Sam still thinks the West Brom are better than they are.
Love it.
I still can't believe they
I know, it's
dropped
mad,
Sam.
isn't it? They're 12. Yeah, they're 12. So
That's a poor season.
I mean, they could. I mean, to be fair.
of course they
went-
could.
Of course they
But
could.
yeah,
Of course they could.
we'd be all night takes.
We would be.
Yeah.
We did the whole thing.
AFC Bournemouth versus Fulham.
Oh.
Claire Green. Hi, Claire. 3-1 to Fulham.
Oh, Claire.
Bournemouth 3-2 will be a stressful game. I don't doubt that. 0-0.
You know, we could go into this game.
3-2.
I don't know. I'm not seeing the league table. We could go into this game needing a point or 2 points to guarantee second. They could go into this game needing
To win the league.
having already won the league.
Yeah.
I think they will have already won the league based upon what we put in here.
Maybe. Oh, how's it looking on? It's looking quite split as well.
Yeah.
Is that a draw then?
I think it's fair to put a draw. And I was actually gonna say, like I say, it's difficult because you don't know exactly where everyone's going to be. But I think Fulham would have virtually got the league, if not already got it. And I think we'll just need a few more points. So Parker will set up to get the draw, really. Fulham won't need to beat. But actually, if they've already won the league, they might kind of just play free and we'll catch them a few times.
It might do. It might be a really good game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw, though. I would go for a 1-1 score draw.
Yeah, I like that.
We've got Bangsy, who's a Millwall fan.
No.
Let me explain. And
Bangsy,
I feel awful for this Bangsy. Love you, mate.
Apologies, mate.
Love you. I hope you can subscribe to this channel and maybe
and
maybe forgive us. But basically, we're predicting the teams that, judging by the league table, we think can get the playoffs, and we think 10th and below is unachievable. I understand you're only a point behind this. The
Forest got a few games in hand, haven't they?
They got exactly. They got a couple of games in hand on you. So we're only doing the top 9. We're so sorry.
I mean,
Bangsy, it's only because it's getting late, mate. And already one of us has already had to go for a curry and angry.
I would love Bagsy to come back and say, "Look, we got the playoffs." Because I actually wouldn't mind Millwall getting them.
No, I wouldn't. I thought it'd be fun.
And I tell you what, when we went to their place, I thought they were bloody good, and we love Bennett. So there's got to be a cut-off point at some point. Otherwise, we're going to be down to 12.
The Den was a fantastic experience. I mean, 44-year-old Steve Hensman found his way around no problem at all.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So it was a beautiful away day. But anyway, we're digressing.
Bangsy, we might do a final 5 maybe if things are going well. So come back then.
Sorry,
Bangsy.
I tell you what, if Millwall are in amongst it and they can still quite realistically get it, we'll do another show just for Bangsy.
Just for Bangsy.
Just for Bangsy.
And Bennett.
Press that subscribe button.
Go on, Bangsy.
So is it a draw then? Is it a draw between Bournemouth and Fulham?
I think it's fair. I think it's quite split on the chat as well. I think it's fair. It's
We
a very hard
could do
one to
that free kick, that kickoff routine again.
Yeah,
We haven't used it since.
Yeah.
Kept it in our blocker.
They'll score and then we'll just score from the kickoff.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we can do it. Ray Allen can't, but we've got to say it up. Right. In chat, Bournemouth v Blackburn. We're at Ewood Park. Let us know. Make sure you put Blackburn in there so we know which score you're talking about. But Blackburn blank, Bournemouth blank. What are you going for? Put it in chat now. We will look through and try to sort of gauge how we're going to score it. Okay, first game then. I'm slowly looking down the table here, thinking, right, Coventry versus Huddersfield. That looks like the first one where a top 9 side is involved, Tom.
1-1.
Okay.
1-1, tough place to go. Yeah, Huddersfield are starting to drift off at this point. Yeah, 1-1.
All right, Fulham against Luton Town at home. I mean, what that would be a great sort of gauge for Nathan Jones to see where his side are at.
Yeah, it would be if Fulham hadn't already got promotion by that point, and they've given Mitro the week off. So I'm gonna go with a draw.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Is that sort of what teams tend to do?
Yeah,
if
it's go on the beach a little bit.
We used to.
We used to always go on the beach, mate. Yeah, I do think that could happen.
But then we didn't at Charlton. I mean, we were promoted.
Yeah, but Charlton
Charlton
we still could have won the league.
Yeah,
I think Fulham have had it all wrapped up by this point.
Yeah,
I think they'll have the league.
Yeah, I do.
So you're going for 1-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Go on.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Interesting. Oh my God, I mean, have we won the league at this point? I don't know. Middlesbrough versus Stoke City.
Yeah, they should have too much.
2-1. I'll go for a 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1, that's what I am going for. Nottingham Forest versus Swansea City, Tom.
I'll go 2-1 to Nottingham Forest.
Steve Cook header.
Yeah, and then a Sam Surridge toe poke.
Yeah. And then Sheffield United at QPR, which is could be a playoff clash.
I think I'm going to go Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Do you have to? Because they might catch us. No, I think that's
a bit more interesting.
Shall we?
Come on, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's give them
1-2.
And I think I think QPR are really kind of dragging off.
They are dragging off now.
Yeah, like that.
I'm a bit nervous about how this is going to go now.
Okay,
Right,
come on.
Blackburn versus AFC Bournemouth. Then Sean Woodland, hello mate, nice to see you on the fan cams the other day. He's going for 2-1 to AFC Bournemouth. Ethan's going 2-1. We've got AFCB Germany. He's going 1-0 Bournemouth as well. Chris Hubble's saying that Bournemouth are going to win. Wing is going the other way. Blackburn winning.
Do you know what, Wing? I've got a soft spot for Blackburn. It'd be nice to see Blackburn back in the Premier League.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah.
You know, first Premier League winners, weren't they?
Ironica's going for Blackburn winning.
She hate.
Yeah.
She already hates us.
I don't think you like us, Veronica.
No.
Tell me you do.
Yeah, I hope you subscribe because it doesn't feel like you are.
And Mr. Muzzer's going for a 2-1 Bournemouth.
Oh, I think we're going to nick it. It's going to be last away day, party time. We're going to nick this.
It's our last away day, isn't it?
But look, I mean, let's
winning
think
this.
about that reverse fixture where they won 2-0.
How many teams did a double of us? Preston aside.
Well, I can't really remember. Did they have a low block? How did he play against us? Or
no, they went for it, and
they
they
were just so crap.
They played off Breton Diaz, who's going to be, if he is back, he'll be off. Maybe he ain't going to be off Breton Diaz. He caused problems. We had, I believe that was the game Robbie Brady played left back as well. We were a little bit, and we weren't very good, but there's not going to be many teams do a double of us, mate. We ain't going there and losing. Party time, they're going to see the away end, absolutely pump him. We'll stay up, find a pot world. We're going to win it. I think we're going to win it.
We're going to win it.
I think we're going to win at Blackburn, and I think the chat agrees with me. Just.
Yeah, they do.
I think we're going to win
All right,
that.
just about.
All right, 1-0 then.
I've been to Blackburn once, and we won there 1-0. Lewis Grabban.
All right.
So.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Okay. Final match week then. They're all lunchtime games. They're all on Sky, I think. So you can through the red button watch whatever game you want. Bournemouth v Millwall. Put it in chat. We want to know.
You sit in the chat, Bagsy.
yeah. You know what he's going to say.
I know what he's going to say.
We're going to have to put them to get a goal because of Bennett.
Yeah.
Just to make
and also for our friend on chat.
Bennett's got bags.
Birmingham versus Blackburn Rovers. They're going to be livid after last week's defeat at home to Bournemouth, aren't they? They're surely going to get a result there, Tom.
Yes, they'll go there and nick it 1-0. They'll go there and nick it 1-0. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What else have we got? Huddersfield Town at home to Bristol City.
Yeah, Huddersfield Town are going to win that 1-0.
1-0. Okay. Nottingham Forest are at Hull City, Tom.
I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Forest.
1-0 Forest. Okay. Luton Town versus Reading. I think they're going to get a result there.
Yeah, be fine. I think Reading will be safe as well. So
Reading probably will be safe by then. So look, 1-0's all the way. In many ways, the scoreline doesn't matter really. No. Okay. Next, who have we got? Preston are entertaining Middlesbrough.
Tough one.
That is a tough one. 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Ticks.
what a last game that is.
Oh, that's a cracker.
I reckon we'd be the filling in this Sheffield United Fulham sandwich as well at the moment.
Yeah.
Because we'd be second, they'll be first and
Yeah.
third. But will Sheffield still be able to get automatic? I'm not sure.
No, I'll go for Fulham win.
Yeah.
I'll go for Fulham win.
Well, this could be a situation, I don't know if you're thinking this as well, Tiggs, where Sheffield know they're in the playoffs,
Yes.
but can't go up.
Haven't got. We're too many.
We're
points
too many
clear.
foot, so they're just going to rest a few, concentrate on the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
you
going to
know,
do a Johnny Wood game.
Yeah, Woody ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Wood
so
ball
the
be
score is
ball.
what?
Yeah.
1-0, 2-0?
1-0. God, just
One.
keep it simple.
Okay. QPR at Swansea.
1-1.
Yeah.
I don't think this matters at this point. I think
I
QPR
think
are blown their
I
load.
think QPR gone. Yeah.
And AFC Bournemouth at Millwall. What's everyone saying? Playing Millwall.
We're playing. We're at home, aren't we?
Bangsy, what's the score? Bangsy,
what's the score?
2-0 against Millwall. I don't think that's 2-0 to Millwall. Andrew's saying for 3-2. 3-1. 2-0 says Paul. 3-0. Heather says 2-1. Mike Wood said Solanke hat-trick.
Love it.
Having a party.
Ironica's loving us now.
Hey.
2-0 against Millwall.
We got to go. I think we got to go with Veronica.
Ches 2. 0-0. Look, it's
2-0.
It's just a 2-0, isn't it?
There's quite a lot.
We've got nothing to bags. Nothing from Bagsy, so we've got to go with the 2-0.
Yeah. Veronica went 2-0 as well. So
Thank you, Ironica.
right. Okay. There we go.
Right.
So thank you so much for watching today's show. Remember to subscribe.
Ah, what are you doing?
We're not going to do the rest. We're not going to do it. No, we're not. No, we're not. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Ah, you got me too. Then you got me.
But what I want you to do is talk to each other because I just need to check that we've calculated it right. So every team has played 46 games.
Right,
you
okay.
dare look at the screen.
I won't look at the screen.
You
right?
dare.
I won't look at the screen. Oh. So Tiggs, what would you reckon though? Without looking at the screen, I think we've just done enough.
I think we've just about done it. Yeah, I think we've just done it. I think we're 4 points clear of third.
We've done 4, yeah. And I think Sheffield will be our tightest ones.
Yeah.
I think it will be Sheffield and Borough. I'm going to go Sheffield, Borough. Then who's going to be the other two? Who do you think's going to be the other two?
We've been quite favourable at Luton. Yeah.
Sheffield, Borough, Luton, Huddersfield.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Is he ready? You ready?
Are you ready?
Is it all done?
No, the browser's crashed.
shut
We have
up.
to put in all the results again.
Hey, that means you just have to rewind the video.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Can you do it so we go like 6?
Where look,
Oh, you've done that.
He's
Good
done
man.
that.
Good
Yes.
man.
Look. Do we have to have our? I suppose we need our faces for reaction, don't we?
What do you want our fate? All right.
I'm sure
That's better.
That's better.
Right, here we go. So look,
Sam still can't believe that West Brom are 12.
you've got to understand, if you've just tuned in at this point, we've just predicted the teams in the top 9. Therefore, you're looking at a part of the table at the moment where there are some that have played more than others. That's fine. We weren't worrying about that. But as I scroll up from 9th position onwards, all of them would have played 46 points, and we will know who's in the playoffs. Can we get to 200 concurrent views? We're going to just wait until that happens. What you can do, though, is do the thumbs up. Honestly,
like,
really
please.
appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming along tonight. Really appreciate it. So,
Right,
for the
here we
table.
go.
Here we
Who's
go.
gonna be ninth?
In 9th position. Tommy, who do you
I
think?
think it could be QPR. QPR or Blackburn. Could be
QPR.
9th and 8th. Yeah.
It's
QPR.
QPR.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
QPR.
But
On
Bagsy will nick 'em.
66 points. 8th.
I reckon Blackburn.
Blackburn Rovers.
Whoa, look at that.
71. Rain Man over here is calculating as we're going along.
We're going to go to that casino in Coventry.
Oh, yeah, isn't
The
it?
Rio-
Yeah.
yeah.
7th, I'm going to go.
Rico.
Just missing out on the playoffs.
7th. Who should be 7th?
Middlesbrough. What about
No, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I predict it's going to be Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, Luton, and Huddersfield. So who am I forgetting in 7th? Who are we forgetting?
Should we find out?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
Middlesbrough
Middlesbrough.
is 7th.
Middlesbrough.
Ooh,
in
I'm
7th.
surprised. They have got a tough run.
What, they the Smeggies?
Smoggies.
Smoggies.
I wonder how much this has got to do with how many Nottingham Forest fans, how many ex-Bournemouth players play
Yeah,
Nottingham
maybe.
Forest as well.
Yeah, Borough ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right then. Who's in the 6th place in the playoffs? It is Huddersfield Town. 2 points ahead of Middlesbrough.
Oh, so it went final day then.
Yeah.
We'll find out, Tom. In 5th place,
It's got to be
Luton Town.
Luton.
Luton.
Luton Town on the same amount of of points as Huddersfield,
Yeah.
but with a superior goal difference by our calculations, which are done using the most complicated algorithm you'll ever find out.
Forest, that's what I'm forgetting.
Forest.
It's going to be Forest next, and then it will be between us and Sheffield United. Oh, Sheffield United got 4th.
Didn't expect that.
Oh my God, it's us and Grabs and Cookie and Surridge. We've got to have too much.
We've given them so many points because we like them. They
We
like
like them
too much.
In third place.
It's Nottingham Forest! Bournemouth!
Don't you know, pump it up. The Reds are going up. Don't you know, pump it
How
up.
close are we
The
to
Reds
Fulham?
are going up 7 points.
Oh.
7 points.
Oh, you predicted 4 clear, didn't you?
I did predict 4
Are we
clear.
8 clear?
But 8 clear.
And look, were we being?
But what I'm
I
saying
know.
is, even if we could take 2 of our wins and make them defeats,
Yeah.
and we'll still go
Got
up.
games in hand, basically.
Yeah, and we'll still go up.
Yeah, we've had that before, haven't we? Losing all our games in hand.
It's done.
Wow.
It's done.
Wow. Okay.
And if it's not, we're going to look like dickheads. Especially when Millwall get in the playoffs. No, I think we've done that all right, and we're so far clear that you can even take a few of our results off if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
look, there you
confident
go.
now.
Chris Edwards says it right. No need to play the matches. Let's just submit this to the EFL for certification. Chris, completely
Yeah,
agree with you, mate. We will send a letter back of the net. We'll do that for
Baxi
you.
might put a complaint.
And look, 4 wins will probably be enough. 5 will definitely be enough. Shall we just go through those, those predictions that we said for AFC Bournemouth? So we said, look, 2-0 against Millwall,
Should be
which I think is absolutely fair. Winning at Blackburn, that's one of the ones where you could say, okay,
Yeah, you can change that if you want.
Maybe if you put it the other way around, let's do that,
Still up.
and then we'll recalculate. But as you can see, the margin's not as high there, 5 points, but we're still going up there as it stands. Let's go back a bit more. 1-1 against Fulham.
That's fair though. That's fair.
It probably is
and
fair.
then they've already kind of got the lead then. So
Yeah, absolutely. But it was plain sailing against Coventry, which
I have to think it will
on
be the way they
form
play.
it probably
Yeah.
should be. Look, we said Middlesbrough 1-0,
Yeah.
which I think is absolutely fine.
Which, by the way, that game is actually going to be on television. So if you haven't got a ticket for that game yet, they're not moving the kickoff, but that's going to be on TV.
Yeah. And look, it wasn't plain sailing for AFC Bournemouth because we didn't beat Sheffield United, and I've got a feeling that probably will happen at Bramall Lane. I don't
And
think we will get a
we'll
result.
find out in a minute. The team that just, I think Prestige at home's fine. The team that we just picked on our predictions is Forest, and we said we'll lose to Forest.
Yeah, we did.
So we've given them kind of almost a 6-pointer.
Yeah.
So it's done, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we go back, we said we'd beat West Brom again. That's another one where we can afford to maybe take that win away.
I think what's most evident here is that even when you take loads off us, the reason why it's more comfortable than perhaps we thinking is everyone's got to play everyone. The amount of times they're oh bloody hell, that's another big game. That's another big game. It's very rare that any of them have got a comfortable game. So
And that would be
also close, aren't they?
And that would be like what we had originally, 1 point less than our total in 2015.
Yeah, we've got 90 points, don't we?
And I think Sam Summers, I referred to on a previous show, put out a tweet saying we're a better
We are
stage
currently
now.
But
then-
at this stage, we didn't lose another game.
No, we kicked on from here.
I think we went like the last 15, 14 games unbeaten.
Yeah,
we did. And obviously now we've only got 10. So yeah, I think we'll probably come just shy of that total. But I think that shows exactly what we've all been saying. That last season, I think Norwich and Watford both finished on 90 and above.
Yeah.
And this season, you could probably do it on mid to low 80s, really. So that's how competitive the league is. I think there's a lot of teams scrapping in there. But I think looking at them fixtures makes you feel more comfortable because everyone's got to play everyone.
Yeah, it's really tight.
We're going to use the last 5 minutes of the show. Just pop any questions in chat, and we'll just finish with any other business. I know that there are some matches being played, England are playing the Ivory Coast, and so what are they, like international friendlies or whatever?
Yeah, we've got Ivory Coast someone else.
But nothing for AFC Bournemouth, is there?
No.
I know the women's team are playing, so check out that. If you go to AFCB.co.uk, they've got some matches ahead. I think, is it Cheltenham? They get there, but I can't remember. But tell you what, a long way to travel, and credit to James McCaffrey, who travels and watches them all across the country. You're an absolute credit to the fan base, James. So well done,
Sam, we're live, but I don't care. I've needed a wee for about an hour.
Oh my God,
I'm out.
There he goes. Jump over that cable and do not touch it, mate. He's out. He's out.
Yeah, I think that you can get tickets as well still for the ladies' game that's going to be playing. The women's game is going to be played at the stadium at that Dean Court, which is going to be the penultimate game of the season and probably or looks likely to be their title decider for promotion. So, yeah, if you can check that out, please see if you can get a ticket for that. Looks like a cracker.
Of course, obviously, you've probably seen on the AFCB.co.uk website as well, the Cherries have partnered with Vitality and MSP Capital to launch a new football boot recycling scheme, which aims to donate pre-loved boots or trainers to disadvantaged families throughout Bournemouth. There's more information on that on the AFCB.co.uk website. And as you'll have seen at the start of the show, John Williams and his crew are travelling to Ukraine. If you haven't seen it, rewind to the start of the video, and there's a 17 minute piece which we'll put out as a separate video on this channel as well, just so if you want to have a look at that, then you certainly can, and we'll pop all the links in the description because they're doing some admirable work.
Really good.
Obviously it's a absolutely horrible situation out there, but you know, they're going to travel to where they're traveling, they don't know, because there's always sort of like moving sort of locations which are, you know, they're humanitarian corridors, but they're constantly changing. So they're going to take 2 vans, 7 tons worth of equipment. Really, really good effort. And it's been on Radio Solent. The Echo have picked it up as well. They'll be doing chats with South Today too. Wow. It's so good, isn't it?
And what's the link for that, sir? If people want to donate now?
Yeah, if you want to donate, you know what, and we would love to get them on to as much as they possibly can. And you know what I'll do is I'll bring up a window now. So you know, this is our web window at the moment, but all I'm going to do is type in afcbpodcast.com/Ukraine, and what it'll do, it'll redirect to their GoFundMe page, which at the moment, as you can see, they've raised 3,160 of their £10,000 goal. Ideally, we want to get them up as high as we possibly can. So please go and donate. afcbpodcast.com/Ukraine. And also you can go to /updates if you just want to find out exactly what's going on, because Viv, Willow's wife's going to be posting loads of updates. I'll have some videos on there from the crew as well. Sharing a bed with Willow in a van.
Wow. If you ever do get a chance, if you're new to the channel, one of my most favourite interviews is with Willow. You look through our archives, see if you can find it. It's a cracker for all kinds of different reasons. Who's at those? So did you open those?
2 reasons.
2 reasons. Do you open those?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, here's a little. What is Tiggs popping in his mouth? Put your predictions in the chat, okay? And if you get it right,
okay.
Look,
mate, we've been keeping everyone updated while you've been having a wee. And Sammy Nell is also on chat saying, Talking Cherries are doing a walk and talk this Saturday at 3 p.m. Meet at the Durley Inn Harvester. So if you know where that is, it's on the West Cliff, and it's about a 20-minute walk west of Bournemouth Pier, just on Google Maps, Durley Inn Harvester, and then they're going to walk to Urban Reef, which is Boscombe Pier, and then back again. Really nice thing to do. Hopefully the weather will be good for it, and make sure you get on board that. Right, what did you pop in your mouth? Heather's going Malteser.
It wasn't a Malteser, Heather.
Oh, wow.
He's got one in his mouth now. Sam's going to pop one in his mouth.
All right.
Nice. Sweet, though.
Go on, show me what it is.
It is Hershey's Cookie and Cream Mini Eggs, which sponsored today's show. No, they didn't. But if anyone would like to, drop us an email.
Well, then,
That'd be lovely.
Very quick Q&A. Tom, I mean, Ethan's asking that question. Who are your favourite Bournemouth players?
Well, how many can you pick?
Oh, well,
Do 1 each or 2?
Who's that?
Jefferson Lerma.
Yeah. Oh.
Current
players. I might get a restrainer if I'm not careful from Jeff. But no, Jefferson Lerma for me. I think apart from that, I've always got that sentimental spot for you, like Smithy.
Yeah.
I'd probably... Trav's at the moment as well. But no, I think obviously it's Jefferson Lerma for me.
I'm going to go. It's really hard to pick from the current bunch. I love the young lads coming through, so I'm going to go with Jayden Anthony actually.
Yeah, Jayden Anthony, Jordan Zamora. I love that combination.
Yeah,
and I've said to Tom, when those guys play, I feel closer to the team.
Yeah,
I get that
because they're ours.
Yeah, because they've come through the youth and they've made their way into the first team. And look, there have been
so many players that could have played in the positions that they have, but they haven't because they've been so good.
Yeah.
I can't look past those two. So, Ethan, thanks for your question. Chris Edwards asked, who will be in the finals match for the 3rd promotion spot? Oh, interesting. Playoff final.
I'm going to go for...
I mean, are we doing it off our league table?
I mean, we can do, yeah, because I think it'll be 3rd and 4th. So I think it'll be Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield United are going to edge it.
I think so.
Yeah. I think Sheffield United are going to edge it. But they're the two I think will do it. My Hershey's now. Yeah, I'm going. I think Sheffield United will do it in the end. What do you think?
Well, I agree with that.
I mean,
I want Luton, but I don't
want
think
Luton.
enough.
I want Luton.
I want Millwall now.
Yeah, I think when it comes to them, that pressure situation of the playoffs, and you got that bit of now. So I think Chris Wilder and Sheffield United just have that bit of now. So I think they'll get it done.
James says, any more live watch-alongs planned? No, basically. This season we're all about going to the games and documenting the games. You mentioned the England games. I'm going to be going to one of the England games, so that'll be very difficult to organise.
Who are you going with? I'm not going.
Sorry, mate.
He's going to a game without me. So.
Yeah, I'm going to the Ivory Coast one.
Is that the second one?
You're going to the Ivory Coast?
Yeah,
it's an away game.
I'm going to the Ivory Coast one. So but no watch-alongs planned. I think they've had their time. Look, we
read for COVID, wasn't it?
Good, yeah, and look, this is a live stream tonight, but we want to stay away from doing because look, we've done Zoom and Microsoft Teams where we're all sat in little boxes to death. We don't want to be doing that. Whilst we've got the freedom to attend matches, so no more Zooms or streams, but we will have something whereby everyone can take part in a free for all. Absolutely. Who else have we got? Player of the season so far, says Liam.
Toss up two for me.
And you're going to say Dom Solanke and Mark Travis.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I think it's got to be between them two. I think it's more the debate is who's going to be kind of 3rd. I think them two can kind of split the vote, and then they normally do a top 3.
Yeah.
Zamora, maybe Anthony. I mean, Lerma when he plays, but he missed too many games for me to be anywhere near it. Lewis Cook's just come into form. Jane Nantley's. For me, it's just Travis or Solanke. I think you can't call it yet. Let's see if Solanke goes and it's, he could go and hit 30, and then you've got to give it a Solanke. And I'd almost, it's not Travis's fault, but I think can we have another season of a goalkeeper?
That'd be crazy if we did.
But it's got to be between them two for me.
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of new players break through into the team as well. I would like to see that recognised in some way by the club. So maybe something like a player of the season, but then like young player of the season. I know it's a little bit. I know they're all quite young, but I think that would be a really interesting thing to do because so many players have come through this season. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, Dom Solanke for me. That's my answer to that one. Harry Mogg asked a really interesting question. Tom, I'll put it to you first. Will promotion feel better this time than it did last time? In my opinion, in his opinion, it will, because it will feel like we've proved that we can do it without Eddie. And secondly, that we're here to stay.
I get that point, but for me, no. I mean, I don't feel like unless we got... I'm trying to think now. I don't even think if we got Plymouth into Europe, it'd feel as good as that did. Because I just never thought I'd ever see it. So to me, I don't feel like I'm ever going to see, which I'm okay with. I don't think I'm ever going to feel how I felt when we got promoted that first time. I just really don't. We'd have to do a Leicester. I don't see how maybe win the FA Cup. I honestly don't see how it's going to. But I get the sentiment behind it that we're proving there's maybe life without Eddie, and that we can get back up there. Maybe we thought we're going to have to settle back down now, but it'll be massive, and there's nothing against the achievements this team will do if we get promoted. But for me personally, I just can't imagine anything topping that night.
It was massively unexpected that season, what turned out. I suppose, Harry, maybe what needs to happen for us to feel as elated as that would be just a bit more time. And I think we've come down, we've still got the parachute payments. We've not been down in the Championship too long.
Yeah.
So going up again, it feels amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to probably rival the feelings that we had of, not expecting it. And
it's that expectation.
Underdog, and nobody thought we'd do it. And that's the big difference. Whereas now most people from the beginning of the season, the beginning of the last season, had us nailed on as one of the favourite teams that could do it.
I forget that feeling of looking at the league table at the end of that season and thinking, what? It's so weird. But if we finish top 2 this time, I almost won't bat an eyelid
No.
because we were expected. And there are only 2 seasons in our lifetime where we've been expected to do something. And that's this season and last.
Yeah.
Last season we didn't do it.
Yeah.
This season we probably will. So therefore, for me, it won't feel as good. Tom, one I'm going to put to you. Can you predict how many goals you'll miss between now and the end of the season?
I mean, I'm hoping not to hit 20. I mean, I know Dom hit 20. I think I'm in like 15 or something. There's a few I chose to. Norwich away, I chose to miss a few in that one. If we do a few more routines from kickoff, I might be in trouble. I'll miss a few. Let's be real.
We do score late in halves, don't we? And early, and there's when other teams I think are either getting tired or they're not coming out.
There's only really one, Cardiff, which I think was on about 57, which was it was just a bit.
You were down there too long.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was bad.
But apart from that, they're all between 38 and 48. It's not like outrageous.
No.
But there's been a lot of goals. I'm trying to justify it. I'll miss some goals. I will miss a few.
He won't break his routine, ladies and gentlemen. That's
No,
it.
well, you wouldn't want me to, but doing all right.
Tix, who's your favourite Spice Girl?
Now, are you asking me right now, or are you asking me in their pomp? Because I was probably a Ginger Spice, to be honest. Given the choice, I know a lot of people would go Baby, and Sporty, probably the better singer of the group. Probably
You think?
I think so. I think she's got a better vocal range. I assume that's what you're basing it on, Steve.
I kind of
What are we doing?
I like Sporty, but I think I'll tell you what I want.
What you really want?
It's
another
always
question.
Baby. Always been Baby.
Always been Baby.
Tom asks, do you think the club will learn from previous mistakes with regards to what to spend the Premier League windfall on? That's a really
I don't think we will.
pertinent point.
I don't think they will. I just don't think that, although we would love to see it, and they say that it's still on the agenda, I don't know if it really is, because I think we're very lucky to have an owner who has put money into our football club, and what he wants to see is us in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't know. Why does it really matter to him? I don't know if it does.
No.
I think it mattered to Eddie.
Yeah, I think it probably did. I think now it's. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll go down that route. Hopefully, we'll be pleasantly surprised. But I think it's just about getting their money in, get up with the Premier League, and just go from there. I don't think they're going to be thinking too much.
What's your favourite flavour? Mawam. Tix. Steve Hensman asked that.
The pink one.
I'm partial to a cola.
What?
Yeah, the cola one. It's quite tasty.
That's disgusting.
What's the yellow one? Is it lemon or banana?
I think it's lemon.
It's lemon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite like that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, look, we're going to
all the good questions tonight.
Finally, there have been a few. Morgan asks what our favourite away day of the season was. I mean, if you go by our tier list,
then there's
Bristol City,
and Blackpool in the top. But I'm going to go. So I'm just because you can see that I'm going to go for one that's pleasantly surprised me was Peterborough.
Yeah,
it was a shame it was a Wednesday night because I think that would have been good. But it was it was on the barge, wasn't it? And it was just a bit different. So that's going to put a shout out for that. I think. What about you, Tiggs? You
Bristol. I love Bristol.
Yeah,
Bristol was fun.
Yeah, Bristol's got to be up there. But a few more to go. Still got a few more. I'm looking for. Me and Tiggs were just saying off there. Really looking forward to Coventry.
Yeah,
looks a bit of a different. They've been playing elsewhere, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure tonight. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You've seen the league table, both going up by the looks of it. And Tom, we want to see more of that performance in our next one, don't we?
Exactly. I think it's almost a bit of a shame that we've got a bit of a break. But yeah, it's going to be a totally different game. I don't think Bristol City will play as openly, but I think we'll be fine. I think that was a real statement to the league. I think that was a real reaction, and the evidence will be there for Scott and the players now. Look what happened when we played like that. We just killed someone 3-0 away from home. We've been on great form. So yeah, I'm confident now. I think that was a massive 6-pointer, if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's kick on from here, get it rocking, and I think we'll be partying by Blackpool away, mate. Really do. Blackburn away, sorry.
And you're feeling optimistic about it because we were all feeling down in the dumps until just 190 minutes. Somehow changed our views of everything.
It is. There's a guy does a lot of EFL content. James Peach on the second tier podcast, and he put something out and he talked about Bournemouth, and he said how the football's not been great, and he'd been told by a mate of his, and they had a big chat about it, him and another guy, and And I think they got quite a few pelters for that. But I think if we hadn't won at Huddersfield and we'd, lost 1-0, I think people would be feeling that way. But what we've seen against Huddersfield is how the team can turn up, and we haven't seen that for a while. So I suppose, what's your international break like, Mr. Parker? I hope it's on the training field.
Absolutely. If you can do us one favour, it would be to like the video if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed, then hit the button and then press the bell, because then that will notify you when new videos are out. And if you're on social media and you saw this video through a shared post, why not retweet it as well to your followers? Because the more eyes and ears that get on this video, the better it performs. And we're going to be documenting every single Cherries game between now and the end of the season with the usual back of the net treatment, including previews with Tom Jordan getting the team right every bloody time. Of course, the second looks whenever we can do them in amongst a tight schedule, the match day vlogs, and of course the free-for-alls after every game. It promises to be a hell of an April. It's a very good goodbye from myself, Sam Davis.
From Tiggs.
From Tom Jordan.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
I'm Cherries.
We're going up.